Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Simulator Sundays. I will be your, your host, your
hello everyone.
Conductor, your engine.
Sundays.
Turn off the thing I had on the back there so we don't echo. How's everybody doing? Today we're going to be in the Barstow Yard, as you can see, and the screenshot indicated the same thing. We've been working here for the last hour and a half or so, and I've got a train that's an AI is humping right now some cars, so we had to hurry up and get some things out of the way so that the cars don't get stuck in the track. You know, everything, if you are a member of this community already, part of the check that we do states the same thing. That before you hump, make sure that the tracks can support it. And the tracks in this case could not. So, we're going to run over here to this track here. My engines are down there. Alan just joined the Discord, so let me pull him in. But let me get my sound up here so we can hear what's going on. It's really hard to operate stuff when you can't hear what's going on, by the way. Sir, how you doing? You coming into the yard already? Or are you still a ways out?
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm still on the needles up around, just passing this house. It's gonna take me 45 minutes or so.
Okay, sounds good. We'll be here for a couple hours. And so I'm gonna pull these CMX cars. If I do this for you, Hound, if I go like this when I'm talking, I don't know if you're watching the stream at the same time, but I just muted myself Discord so that you don't hear two of me if you're watching it live. You're watching it live?
Well, that's with a delay, so keep it in Discord.
Yeah, so if I need to talk to you, I'll just mute it here in Discord. And if you need anything, you just ask me and then I'll unmute.
Yeah, copy.
That way you're not confused when you hear this in about 4 or 5 seconds from now. Okay, so we're bringing these switchers back, as you can see. I can't see my chat window. There we go. Rockefeller, by the way, is headed to Barstow, he says. He's going to hop in right next to me as we operate here in the bowl. Trade Whisperer was back again, but he comes on about an hour, like when I announced that, hey, the stream's going to be live pretty soon, and he comes in there and starts chatting with me, but I'm not watching chat until I go live because I'm getting ready and doing other things. I don't say, hey, it's coming on at 4 p.m. California time, and sit here and just answer people in chat. So if you guys are those people who like to have a chat a couple hours before, I don't usually have too much interaction before the stream. So what we're moving now, so these are, this is LCal 0102. McFly! Yes. It's perfect timing. Are you still on the server or did you already leave? Let's see. That's Biz, I believe. McFly, Biz. Yeah, you're still on. No, you left. So you're getting ready to go to bed. Congratulations. Hope you have a good sleep, courtesy of this voice right here. Also, as you see here, by the way, I can't spend too much time doing this in the bowl, or the classification yards is what it's known as, because this train is coming now to break these off. So these are 611, and then there's some of those ones that I'm pulling out now, right here. So I need to get these out so that they'll all fit in here. Yeah, that's what I said. McFly is Biz. I was pretty sure. So let's go ahead and pull these guys forward. And we're going to push these over onto the departure tracks over here. They're going to go down towards Victorville. There's a CMEX plant right there. And RSV is another one that's just before it, kind of in the Hesperia area. So we're going to pull these 102s and then these 611s, 0611s. Let me make sure I'm lined up to go to where I need to go here. First, before I start explaining other things, we've literally been working for the last couple hours here, getting things situated, and then The stream was scheduled for this time, so it's just like, boom, let's go with the stream. Doesn't really matter. I don't necessarily wait to do everything until the stream starts. We just gotta get, we gotta always working. We're always working around here on the Mateo Community Server. Links below, by the way, to join the Discord. If you want to join us and have fun in multiplayer. You have to watch my speed. I'm at 14 right now, but I'm going downhill. Put a little dynamic brakes in. I knew that's not a problem. F3, we want to throw this switch here. And we'll need the... No, we're on the right end. We're going to go here. We're at 15, so we're going to throw this switch as soon as we pass it. We stand on the ground. Also, let me make sure I have everything lined up ahead of me. So that's going here, and I don't. See, I would have crashed into his locomotives. I wasn't paying attention. Nope, that's the wrong side. Like, trying to hurry up and push these buttons is interesting. If you miss and press the wrong one, you end up where you didn't want to go. So I'm going to go straight next to these. And that switch is good, so we're good all the way down there. We don't need that much room. I ran an absolute signal as I'm doing 16.5 miles an hour as I was trying to throw those switches. So it saw me speeding as I passed a hand throw switch, and that's why it will tell you ran an absolute signal. Something I came to learn here a few weeks ago. Hello, Train Whisperer. Welcome back. As I said earlier to everybody else that was here, it's like, when I announce that I'm going to be going live, you know, I set the stream up ahead of time, so all I have to do is say start streaming. I don't sit here and watch YouTube waiting for people to talk to me, so when you say hi earlier, I usually don't even see it until I go live and start streaming. So apologize for that, but I have a million things to do and don't get a chance to just sit here and wait for people to respond to YouTube an hour and a half before the stream comes on. All right, we have passed this switch here, so I'm coming to a stop. We are lined up. We're going here to departure southbound 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. If we do look at the map, not that one. Oh, you know what? I didn't turn that on. I have the, again, the BNSF live radio running as well, so you'll hear that in the background. But we're going right here, departure 4, 5,700 feet. So that's the map for you. I think that came on. I'm not sure. It came on. So 1, 2, 3 here. And let me get that out of the way. There you go. Oh, I got dragon equipment already on this. Oh no, that's loaded. All right, so we're going to prepare this for an outbound train. That's our job here in Barstow today. So we're working the yard. That means as we put them here in these tracks right in front of me, these ones, these are where we set trains to go out. For those of you who don't know it, many of you do. But you know, we try to tell people how things work around here too, instead of just tell everybody who knows what's going on. So we're going to no, it's a CTC switch. So the first one is empty. So I want to put the entire assembled train on this track, but I need to put the loaded ones there. So for the empties, I'm going to go and fling the empties down here, put the loads down there, and pick up the empties and put them in, so that I'm going to sort them as they need to be sorted. Let me go here. We're going to put it on this track here, this empty, and we're coming back. Let me go fly over here. So the first one is... We don't have any air in these cars. They're all bled out, but I did assemble the airlines. So I'm going to be kicking these off. Well, I'll just set that for now right there, and then when it gets close, I'll go ahead and kick it off. I'll, open the coupler and I'll hit the brakes. The bowl to the signal, 6,000 feet. Which one are you talking? From the bowl to what signal? Because it depends on what track you're on, right? Talking about on the track that I'm on, all the way down to come onto the main from this little track that I'm on. I don't know exactly how far it is. It's quite long. All right, so I'm doing 3.8. And I'm kicking the empties on this one. So I want to give myself a little bit of room. So we'll get up to 8 or 9, just like we normally kick it. I got to give myself room to stop because some of these are full and some of these are empty. I just have the little yard switchers. So I've kicked that one off. Come off the brake now. And that one was going to go right by us. Got to give myself room to go over here. And these CTC switches are going to be a little more challenging. As you can see here. A little bit harder this way. Uh-oh. Why did that go that way? Can I just switch that one? So that's interesting. So as you guys saw, the DS screen. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it was this one. So we switched the wrong one. The one we're on, that we needed to switch this one. Didn't work out for us. All right, so we're going maybe a little too fast. So slow down, beer. Relax. Let's open the coupler here. We'll go forward, throw that switch, and then we'll go backwards and kick this one. I mean, it's just dirt. Well, you saw it. That one stopped, so I was worried that anyways, if that switch was thrown, well, that would have been a nightmare because it would have hit the car from the side and, caused a problem. So, actually, we didn't even see it rolling back because I didn't put a handbrake on it. But there's no air in it. Okay. We'll wait for it. Everything can't be perfect all the time. It is rolling back. I should have put a handbrake on it, but it was good for a few minutes. All right, now we're coming back like we initially planned. So let's get this thing going here. Once we're in the lane all the way, it's 9, 10. Throw the handbrakes on it. Hopefully you don't bust knuckles. We're going the other way now. As that guy goes down there a little bit, I'll put a handbrake on it. I don't want to be right here because I have others going that way as well. I do have to pass this switch. Up, see, I'm double clicking it too by accident. 7 miles an hour. Okay, track 22 on the hump's full, but we didn't get out there in time. We got multiple things going on at the same time, so while I'm coming back, see, this is 22 here. That one's full. And that's going to come onto this track, but we're going to pull those next. If I only had to kick these guys, put all these, parked them, we probably would have made it. But all right, let's make sure this one's probably not rolling back. Then we got a lot of empties here, so we'll go and pick up this one empty while that guy goes down there a little bit. And this switch we need to pass. And we're literally just going to push these. We're not going to kick all these because there's too many of them. Third time is the charm, right? We can put a handbrake on that guy. But we're just sorting this here, and then we're going to put them all together anyways. Did I double click that switch or did I just miss it? I'm so used to the hand throws, you know, the DS screen ones sometimes become a little bit of a pain. I thought I clicked it already. Well, maybe now we'll get on the, we'll get things moving now. Oh yeah, our Mateo Community Server, we've actually had a full-time Barstow Yard Master for a few years. He's been in chat many times here. And then he stepped away for a little while, and then somebody else was volunteered to take over Barstow. Well, he just found out that the commitment for him in his personal life is a little too much because Barstow is huge. And so he's had to step away as well. So we don't currently have a Barstow Yard Master. So all of us take a little bit of some turns, making sure that the yard is operational and stuff moves in there. And of course, all the non-yard masters in the server obviously lending, doing what they can with the jobs and keeping things rolling. So appreciate everybody's work on this. This is the focal point for BNSF and SoCal servers, so this is an important place. And there's not a whole lot of work out of here right now. As we looked at the departure tracks that I'm pulling into now, most of them are empty because the cars that we put here a few days ago are already gone, or the trains. Built a bunch of trains and...
Alright guys, movers are in the clear, bottom D-rails in the dirt, outbound one, time down, leave them running, let me know when you clear up, over.
Alright, so we're going to want to peel this guy off, but we got to get past here. And then we have a whole bunch of them after that. So, and then we'll go attack that other track that's full, get the AI going again. Oh no, that might not be enough. Be safe. I want to make sure that if I run a train down this track, it's not going to clip this one. So push her back a little bit more. I got to be, of course, in reverse. Slam! The hobos that film these on YouTube, they'll be in these things. They'll be up underneath here, like in the holes with all their stuff. And you just hear it, bam, bam, bam. And they're like, ouch! What's up, Hagen? How you doing? Good to see you. We're working Barstow. Working classification yard right now. We're doing a bit of a sort here on the departure tracks. So this little guy is going to be going, probably, this is CMX, and we'll probably jam some other VBC stuff on it, or even another like San Bernardino locals, whatever we have available. We can pull through CMX, drop those, and then continue down the line towards the Los Angeles region. All right, so we did set that straight, so we won't have a problem with this now. We are going to kick this one as it is a load, but it's just dirt. Get up to our kick speed here. We're going uphill about 10. We'll go ahead and throw the brakes. Watch our coupler pressure there. All looking good. And we got a bunch of empties again until we get to this car. This one here. We got 3 more empties to peel off. There we go. Now we can't just kick the 3 because we didn't give ourselves enough room there, so we've got to go and slightly push them back. The westbound coming whose DPU has a dirty nose, but not sure how it got dirty. Oh, the dirt. Where are you at? Are you on server or are you in single player or a different server?
581 channel 36,
Yep, you're not in here. Must be on another server, single player. One thing I forgot to do is set it up so if I need to do something with the train maker upper, I can do that. Ah, you're rail fanning. Okay. Yeah, the toilet, the dirty nose. Is that what you mean? The toilet's dirty? Because it's in the nose, for those that don't know. If it has a toilet. All right, 4 miles an hour, good couple. Handbrakes off. Connected air lines, and let's push back. This is the loaded one that we're going to peel off here, so we got to get past our break point here. This is normally a good idea is to bring the knuckles right here even with the switch on the next track, so then you know you've got enough room. You'll be clear. Sometimes when you leave the airlines connected and you're pulling apart, sometimes a little more rare, but your train could disappear, so got to be careful with that. We pass this switch. I got to put in the password here real quick. So give me a second for that. And I'm putting it in right now. And we're back. I don't remember touching a switch, but anyways, let's come on back, make sure our switch is not lined up, even though we have been working this one. Verify. Okay, so now we're pushing the loads onto this one. Actually, let's see. Are they all? No. So this one is not. So we'll push these back, connect these, and then we'll peel it off right there. Not too many more to sort. Yeah, I guess we do. A little back and forth. That's one thing. No matter how you do it, the hump over here will not separate loaded cars from emptied cars. Only does it by industry. So we'll have to get that other set out of there next, and then deal with that. So these are, we're going to push these together here. Handbrake off. Wait till the other one's off. Handbrake off. And we got our airlines connected. And the 2 of the green cars are in now, but again, we'll bring it all the way can keep going. You go too far in, but we got what, 4 or 5 more. I'll put a handbrake on this guy here, which will cause this to compress. Then I can go the other way. I wanted to get the whole train there, but I'll have to wait. Decoupled before I can get it. That's why I put in the consist editor password, so I can grab a copy of it in case something happens while I'm disconnecting them. We're headed up to this switch here is the next one. 10 miles an hour. Let's start slowing down. Not like I haven't been here. Whoops.
And guard down, left running. Excellent. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.
Coming back. Let's see. Green, 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 and red. Manola to Barstow. So you're coming from the east here. There's Hound. Hound's coming in. He's coming in through main 1 here. So you may want to Hound stop at the next signal so that you can request main 3 so we can get you in the inspection yard.
Sorry, say again. I had a delay.
You may want to stop at your next signal. So you're passing this one now or coming up on it. So after you get past Daggett, at West Daggett, where basically the main that's to your right will shift over and join you. You stop before that signal, then you can request into main 3 so that you can come into the inspection yard.
Yep. I'll stop at the next signal and then set a specific destination.
Yeah, or you can, after you pass that signal, cancel your route, but then click main 3 and the Barstow DS, and then request a signal, and he should keep you going and route you because you're already past that signal where you're coming at to now.
Or I can stop. See that light above the old yard? I can stop there.
As long as you're on main 3 before you get there, yeah. Because from main 1, you can't get in the yard at all where you're trying to.
The inspection yard I need to go. So if I stop for the Amtrak station and then set myself a restricting and setting those 2 switches from main 1.
Yep.
No, sorry, main 3. Yeah, main 1.
Yeah, to main 3, right.
Yep.
Or actually, at that point, it's main. Well, it's main.
It changes to main 3.
Yeah, you can go from main 1 down to 2. So I'm looking here, guys. Main 1 to 2 to 3 into the inspection yard. Yeah. Yep. Oh, so he's stopping you at main 1 now. If he continues you past, then. Yep.
I'm gonna stop between East Barstow and Barstow.
Okay.
That light, and then set myself restricted and guide myself in.
Sounds good. And you're lined up after that point. So once you CTC in, you're lined up through the inspection track 1 that you wanted.
All right. Perfect.
Okay.
It's gonna take 50 minutes or so.
Yeah, it won't take long. Okay, so we are still separating. Let's see, we've got a few more to come into, so let's do that. Hello, Chris Scott. And I went to look and see where you were coming at in Minolta there, Rockefeller. And if I go here, you're... I don't even see you. Oh, wait. Minolta is Hound. It's going pretty good. We're just working stuff. I can't get everybody's names right all the time, Hound, because you have different names and different things. So I'm like, wait. Minolta's Chris, I think.
There's only one Hound.
Yeah, but in YouTube, you're Rockefeller.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's put a couple handbrakes on here. Pull this dude off. Oh, maybe this one. Okay, we got to come back. Got to slack. All right, Chris, are you a member of the server? Just trying to figure out who's who. You guys got different names on YouTube than you do in the Discord, so it gets a little confusing sometimes. Like Hagen and myself are the same names no matter where we're at. All right, let's see if we can put the key in and move that one. Okay, that's good. Let's come on backwards. And we're good for, see, we got three. We got to get off here. We're not going to be able to, well, we can probably kick them, but they may not make it all the way. So let's just drive it in there. Disconnect that airline. Nothing worse than a, oh, no, that's fine. No, what I was saying for the Rockefeller in the YouTube chat is Hound both in Discord and on voice with me right now. And then, you know, there's Bizoot is McFly in the chat on YouTube. So trying to keep track of everybody's names. And then Chris, one of our yard masters, is, I don't remember what his name is in YouTube, but it's different than in Discord. So the people on server and when they are typing in here, watching the stream, you know, when they're a member of the server, but then they're watching the stream here, it gets a little confusing. For me. Not for them. They know their names. Oh, man. I thought it was going to let me put a couple of handbrakes on. It's starting to get heavy here. I can click it right. All right. Well, also in the background, you hear talking right now, by the way, is the real live BNSF SoCal dispatch for San Bernardino sub and Cajon sub as well, I believe. I think there might be some other areas perhaps as well. Need to go a couple more cars. I've got two empties and full, and then a bunch of empties. So this is important, even though this particular local that I'm sorting now, it's pretty flat from here, about 35-40 minutes down the road, the way I'm looking now, which is westbound, to CMX out of the Victorville yard. It's pretty flat, but still, we want all the cars that have weight on them, or the full cars, we want those against the engines, against the power, and then all the empties after that, so they don't accordion throughout the consist. Is Amtrak running today on Barstow? I have no idea. I pay no attention to Amtrak. Literally none. Amtrak could catch on fire as I'm driving by, and now I'm not saying I don't enjoy riding on Amtrak. I've only done it once in my life. But as far as playing or having anything to do with Amtrak in the sim, I don't have anything to do with it. I don't drive passenger trains because I can't stop in time. It makes me frustrated. And I don't really care much for road trains. It's not as fun as doing all this kind of sorting and mixing and trying to figure out the puzzles all the time. So as far as what Amtrak is doing, don't care personally. They're a lot of fun for a lot of people, just I'm not one of those. They bring their own challenges, but they're not my type of challenge, if that makes any sense. But I have not seen any Amtraks pass me yet. So that will answer your question now. Is it running in over here in Barstow? I don't know. I think somebody actually has to spawn it and tell it to run. They're not AI trains here in this server. I mean, they're AI, but they don't spawn on their own and just run down the road. The humans have to actually spawn it. One of the only trains you can spawn in the Mateo Community server is the Amtrak ones at specific locations. But again, I don't pay any attention to it, so I don't even know where those are. I know down by me, by one of my yards, or most of my yards, is a lot of Amtrak down in Los Angeles. All right, let's lace everything up here. Don't really like that. I think we should go back more, so I'm going to take off the handbrakes and roll her back a little bit. That should be good. So we'll put some handbrakes on here again. Give ourselves some room. It's not the hardest to do hump, actually. The hump does itself. The biggest issue isn't, and I think what you're talking about is classification. So when you have, so this is the outbound yard right here. For those that don't know, the stuff on the left is the outbound yard. That stuff over there, that's the bull or the classification yard. And that gets humped right here from the receiving yard. So all things into Barstow come into this yard for the most part. And then we hump them over the hump. In my case, I'm using AI to do it, but they stop because the track I was humping to is full. And you got these things. These are called retarders. So these speed up or slow down the cuts of cars to get them the distance. There's a computer in here that gets them down to where the distance they need to go. So it speeds it up or slows it down using some sort of maths to get them all the way down there without smashing things. This is the actual hump controller here. So if we do Control F6, we can see it's enabled for the type of humping I want to do, which is the standard Barstow one. I have to disable it in order to show you the other ones, but we'll get to that when we get there. But see, this track here got overfilled, so they're in the retarders. So the computer says, "Oh, you're full," so we can no longer send any more. We can't hump. All hump operations are secured until we move these trains out of the way. And we're almost there. Okay, so the next one is green. So these are greens. I got 3 greens, so we'll put them with the other greens. Then we have to stand on the ground on multiplayer. For single player, you can just fly to the switch and click it. Multiplayer, you cannot. And of course, we always have auto on for the most part, so we have to deal with that as well. And I let it go way down there because I was chatting and showing. And of course, UP has the West Colton yard, you know, down in West Colton. So it's a large yard as well. I believe it's longer, a lot longer than Barstow, but I think Barstow has more classification tracks. But I could be wrong on that too. I've never sat there and counted them. Okay, so our switch is set. We're going to go right here to these. I crack off the last couple of greens here. We'll kick the red, connect the greens, put them behind the red, and push the whole set back. Watch our speed here. There's 4.5, 3, 3.5. All right, brakes off. Lace them up. Let's come on back. I'm not running air in these cars. I'm only using the F7 to lace them and set the angle cocks. These cars, they're a pain in the butt if you try to put air in them when you're trying to shuffle them around. Really is such a pain. All right, so you have to handle a lot of AI traffic. What happened here? Did I hit handbrakes up? Yeah, handbrakes weren't all the way off. You have to handle a lot of AI traffic. You're not a big Run8 myself. Enjoy watching. You had to play because you mean because it's expensive. Expensive to get all the DLCs and so forth. At least it's not Dovetail games. That shit's expensive. And not as fun. And I grew up playing well, not grew up. Been playing train sims for many years, but this is a whole different ball game. I've actually tried, after playing this for a year and a half, I got Train Sim World 3, and I've had all the Train Sim Worlds before that. Played them all. I've done streams of it. Once I started doing Run8, I go back to play Train Sim World, and I last about 7 minutes before I have to shut it off. And I actually uninstalled Train Sim World 3 after I played it for 7 minutes. The Cajon stuff. The Cajon Pass, one of the things I just like, no, I can't do it. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't work right. It's not the same. The scenery around the train tracks, you know, the 25 feet next to the tracks is beautiful. That's all you got. As far as this one being expensive, I suppose you can look at it that way, is that, you know, you have the 6 routes in Southern California that all cost, you know, $40, except for the main game. So that's $160. 7 minutes, you like, yeah, right? What's up, Mr. White? So the routes are expensive, and then you have the car packs, which again, you don't have to have any of that. You can just start and work your way up over time, like I did. However, if you enjoy train simulators and you have Run8, I've only had version 3. I never had anything before version 3. I was waiting for version 3 to come out before I purchased it because I didn't want to buy a game twice, you know, updated. And this is significantly updated, even though the other stuff is compatible. You know, the previous stuff, if you bought that, you can use it here, which is great. If you look at how many hours I have in the sim, and I don't play every day. I play once or twice a week for a few hours at a time. But over almost 2 years, about, you know, 2,000 hours, because I was playing it a lot. But $2,000 or $3,000 hours divided by $300 for everything. I think it's worth it. When you look at it, how many hours you're going to enjoy out of it for what you paid overall. I think it makes sense that way. And I have everything. So even if you divide it by $400. The only thing I don't have is a new Pittsburgh sub, because there's no connection to it yet. So I don't have that yet, and I'm not in a hurry to get it yet because there's no connection. So standalone, and I'm not really an East Coaster. You know, I live here in this area, so this is why I like SoCal. It's the same thing with like Flight Simulator. You have Flight Simulator, which the simulator is $60, or you know the other one, whatever, I forget the other one, what it's called. yeah, it's really, you know, it's up to everybody to say what is good for them. You don't have to have everything at first, which is different than a lot of other sims. And I always say buy your so you get the base game, and don't spend your money on anything else until you have $40 and get the San Bernardino sub. That allows you to do a lot of local work. And then get the Cajon sub, so you can drive from Barstow to San Bernardino sub via the Cajon sub, and it also gives you the UP yard. After that, you can do whatever else you want to do. I would start buying car packs for, you know, so you can see what all these different mixed freight items are. And those are cheap. Some of them are, you know, $2, $4, $6, $8, $10. The locomotive packs are roughly $10, or maybe some of them are up to $20. You don't need those, though. They just say run 8 on them. DLCs give you options, and the car packs let you see what you're doing, and the engine packs just give you basically skins. So there's a lot of options there. And if you really enjoy it, like most of us do, after a couple months, then you're going to want to start getting these other things just so you can explore more. But as I said, Microsoft Flight Simulator, you purchase that, and it's, you know, they have stuff in the game, and of course you can do mods with them, but the modded planes don't work as good. But if you start buying aircraft, like I bought 3 PMDG 737s, each one at $70. So 70 times 3 is $210 for 3 airplanes. That's almost how much I spent for this entire simulator. And that doesn't even count. If you count the cost of Microsoft Flight Simulator, then you're the same. 3 airplanes and the sim costs as much as all the DLCs and all the... I don't have every single locomotive pack. I don't have tunnel motors. I don't have the heritage pack. I have all the locomotives for the area that I play on. So BNSF and UP. But I don't have like CSX, all those CSX and all those weird, smaller, you know, Class B, Class C railroads, because I don't play there. I don't want them. So I don't have to buy all that stuff. I only buy what I want. The GEVOs come with base game. And I believe the SD70s are also free. The Dash 9s are an extra, but you know, when you have the GEVOs in the 70s, why would you run Dash 9s? The SD 42s and 45s, I have 2 of packs of each that cover the BNSF and the UP stuff. Because, you know, that's what I'm playing, so that's what I want to be able to see. So, like, you know, I do have a Dash 9 or 2 pack, but we don't really run the Dash 9s a lot. So if you look over here, like, you know, this is SD, are these 45s or 40s? These are SD 45s. So I have the packs here. I have 2 of them. Because the other 2 don't cover BNSF or UP. They're like Conrail and PSX, and I don't run on the East Coast. So I have it, and we have a server related to this one that runs over there as well. But I don't spend a lot of time over there because I like SoCal predominantly. So again, it's what you want to pay. It's what you want to do. But all this stuff is base game here. And then, of course, we have enhancement, you know, skins that you can put over the top of them. So you have graffiti and things like that. So I have some cars here, like you see, I have graffiti on some of them. So that's free. And I'm also going to be generating my own graffiti on cars, but that takes a little bit of time. I have already done it as a concept, so I can do it, and I've already done some and shown some. I might be given foreign power, so we do have foreign power. There's foreign power all over the place. I build trains with foreign power because usually I'm sending it back. Let's see how much foreign powers. I don't know if there's a lot here right now. I mean, there's a well, that would be BNSF, but you know, there's a lot of stuff got deleted. But see, here's some NS stuff. So as far as the wide bodies, I have all the wide body stuff, just not the not every -9 pack, because I don't really run -9s. And I mean, I have CSX wide bodies, UP, SP. Just don't have that stuff that's on the East Coast. Not a lot of it. If we go to... Oh, actually, I should copy this player train anyways. If we go to like freight locomotives, so I have all of these sets here. I have everything. And everything in blue here are ones that I own. What I don't own is I don't own the Jeep 40, this pack, which is one BNSF motor and 2 CXX and a Conrail. I don't have that one. I don't have Chesapeake and Canadian National on that pack. It's all part of the same pack. And then I don't have these two, and I don't even know what they are. But I have every other locomotive. So I was wrong. I do have everything, almost. So if we go to everything in blue I own for freight. And I also have Amtrak, even though I don't like it, but I can see what they look like on the rails. All right, so let's come back a little bit more. So like we're already an hour into it. All we started the stream with was breaking, putting this with the loads on the front end and putting it on this track. Coming out of here and coming back, splitting it up. And that already took almost an hour just to do that. So $50 for a game when you can spend an hour just doing one simple task, and you can never run out of things to do, even in single player. But if you have this game, the simulator, why not play it multiplayer? A whole nother world. Actually, it wouldn't be silly if Canadian Pacific is on the Barstow mainline, because there's interchanging that happens. There's products that come from the East Coast and go to Canada via, they may start with NS or CSX, and they go to interchange because BNSF is over on the West Coast. CSX or NS doesn't run to the West Coast. So they send stuff down and they leave their power on it because it's just easier. And they have the power on it. It comes to the West, comes into Barstow, and from here it gets sent up to Washington State through BNSF, where there they interchange with Canadian Pacific. So it's not insane. And then you also have the reverse. So stuff coming from Canada will come down. Maybe it's going to New York or Florida. So if you put 3,000 hours in Run 8, does it mean you have a mental problem? No. I think you're just getting your money's worth. I was talking, not paying attention, so we're hauling ass here in the yard. So I got to get this thing stopped. I don't have air on, but... All right, so now I got to go back the other way after it comes to a stop because I went too far. I got to give myself room to put locomotives in the lead end here. Probably only 2. How much we weigh? Just this little guy right here weighs, it's 2,265 feet. Not bad for a local. And it weighs 2,800 tons. Bring her to a stop here. Put some handbrakes on. All right, should be good. I don't have a little. Mr. White, do you have a check, like a guide or a check sheet that tells you how many handbrakes to set per weight? Or is that just something you learn over time? Let me save this train first, just so I have a copy of it. Maybe not. All right. Load save. Sounds like Hound's coming in. There he is, right there. Hound's pulling in. Bernardino autoracks. Where's mine? Where am I at? There I am. So I came off. So I saved that train as I'll have to look. Maybe it's not the whole thing. Maybe it's just the engines. DNC, welcome, by the way. That MSTS ever since it came out, it is a different world. You know, the only thing that you can get with the Dovetail stuff or the Microsoft is mods, you know, so you can get other player mods. What I found though is most of the mods that I've seen or tried to use, they're just so much payware in there that it really doesn't, it's, you know, at least here you buy it, you can use it any route, but there you have to buy all these different payware things in order to do the mods. So it's just as expensive, if not more. And then a lot of times you buy that stuff and then the route's all screwed up, you know, it doesn't work right. So then you just either waste your money, you got to fight to get your money back. So, you know, there's positives and negatives no matter how you look at it. I prefer, most of the people in this stream prefer Run8 because the physics are, you know, close to real life, very close. That was started in the very beginning. Right here, where you can change the horns and bells. That was something that was always in. That was in V2 as well. The only thing was they used Fmod in V3, so the people who had them before had to convert them over to Fmod, which is the same thing. American Truck Simulator. I had to convert some stuff over to Fmod. My GPS. You have 23 cars, 4 are supposed to be handbraked. Okay, that's on the flat, right? That's because I assume it changes with grade. So we gotta run over here and grab that next cut that stopped the processing of the bowl. So that took us 2 minutes shy of 1 hour, by the way. So if you have more than 23, you really only need between 10 and 15, depending on, I mean, there's the handbrake test where you move it and then when it stops rolling, it has to be within 10 feet or something. I don't remember exactly the footage, but mine usually stop right away. So hold F11, click on the cab, and now we're looking in the reverse one. We're actually operating in the reverse one. We're not controlling it. We're still controlling it from the opposite side of us now, but we can at least sit here and move controls. If you're talking about the auto racks over there that Hound just brought in, he's parking that inspection yard. He brought that from Needles or Seligman. And those are going down to San Bernardino. So there's no sorting required for those. They're ready to go. We're gonna grab this track right here. Yeah, they're all tagged, and we'll look at it here in just a second. See all the graffiti on there? And this is a mod, right? So this is, well, it's like a skin. So it has graffiti on them and then a lot of different paints. But I own the model, you know, I bought the models. The models are pretty just bare. Yeah, so these are all SBA. So these are going in on the depot server, the maps, it's called West Colton Auto because that's what it's called in real life. But here in our server, it's just San Bernardino Auto, SBA, because there wasn't anything apparently when we first set the server up. The depot didn't have that config in theirs. They added it after we added ours. So we just kept ours what it was. Yep, enjoy your feet, having them up. I had to fall asleep to the stream. Yeah, the rules differ for each class 1 because they're railroad. Okay, so I'm gonna take off handbrakes, hit F7 to lace everything up, and we are pulling out. We're gonna take these. Wait, yeah, these are going. See what they are. I don't even know what they are. Where we're going with them. So this is the 061. We do have to go there. I think. I was bringing the 61s over here. Gotta walk the line, walk in the green mile, walk in the green mile. See, how much do we have? 3,100 feet, so we're gonna need a long track. So this is the, looking for like ones now. We're gonna go on this track right next to these other ones. So the link below, there's a link below. So you got a bunch of Discords in the description. You have the Discord for the Mateo Community server, which is the server that I'm on now. You have one. There's probably one for my Discord, but you don't need to join that because that's just if you want to, you know, for my YouTube channel, as well as the group of people that I've been playing with for 20 years. So that's not my Discord. Really isn't the Legion at War Discord isn't one that will do much for you. I gotta set this switch. But you have the Mateo Community server. I think the Depot server might be in there as well. Coming down here. Watch my speed. ATM going too fast. And then there's the enhancement Discord, and that's where all those mods, there's horn mods, skin mods, there's other mods that you can use in order to like back up your game. It says I ran an absolute signal, by the way. That's because I passed a hand throw switch at high speed feeding. So the Discords below, there's different ones. The High Green Discord, that is our East Coast server for the Mateo Community server. It's run by Garrison, so he has a different Discord to keep things separate so that we know if we're talking about SoCal or East Coast with the Fitzgerald sub and all that stuff. And then let me see what I have in there real quick. You click more. Yeah, so the Run8 enhancement server, the Depot server, Mateo, SoCal, and the High Green. The ones above it says Twitch, Discord, Twitter. That's my stuff. That doesn't really. Well, again, that's Discord isn't going to do much for you. The Twitch is when I stream on Twitch, obviously on Wednesdays, and the Twitter tells you when I went live. As far as the Depot Plus or the Depot server, they have a website. So the majority of the stuff happens on a website. They have a Discord for quick communications. For those of you who don't know, I am also a Depot Plus member. which means it gives me options to play. I predominantly play here though. And this is a server that we have a lot of fun on, and we also don't have to worry about database stuff. So we have a lot more leeway on making mistakes than the Depot server does, even though they're not as crazy as everybody thinks. But you know, mistakes, as long as they're mistakes that you're not trying to purposely break things.
Well, there goes the neighborhood.
All right, somebody just, I can't read it, Spark Wolf. What it looks like. So small on my thing, but thank you so much for your follow. Oh, Dark Wolf. It looked like an S. But yeah, as far as the Mateo Community Server, join the Discord, and then when you're ready, I have videos on this channel, and they're also in the How to Join server in the Mateo. Just basic train handling are kind of the idea of what we're going to be asking for. We do a minimal skills check. We just want to make sure you know how to use Run8, because in the past we had people say, yes, I know how to use Run8, and they come in here, they don't know anything. They didn't know anything. They couldn't make the train go their engine, one engine go forward, take off the parking brakes, anything like that. So the basic train handling operations will give you just that. Not the extreme basics like this is how you turn. Well, no, I think I do cover a lot of that. I cover just about everything. There's an intermediate one in there too. So if you're don't know how to go down the Cajon Pass with using your dynamic brakes, that one's going to help you with that. Or how to start on a hill. You're on a hill and you're like, well, I have to AI the train because I can't get it up the hill. Well, you shouldn't have been driving it. If you can't get it up the hill, knowing that you're going up a big ass hill, then you shouldn't be driving it. Practice with those videos. The yard that we're in now, I know you asked the question earlier. I was trying to finish my thoughts though. This is the Barstow Old Yard. That's the Barstow Amtrak station over here. Actually, when I worked out at Barstow, I stayed like right over there. Really close for 11 years. I drove over this bridge so many times. There's a Del Taco right here, which is a great Mexican fast food place. This is the Barstow Old Yard. So they had this back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, and then they expanded and they put in this as a classification yard. So this is the actual Barstow Yard these days. I flew my drone over this from, well, this is not a hill here. There's like a little river there. But I was probably right here, and I flew my drone. So Chris, if you're watching this later in that drone video, I sent you those drone videos where I flew like this and all this. That was from about right over there. A distance away. All right, let me, I see a question here, but let me get where I need to go. I had my dynamic brakes on while we did the drone flight there. So you joined depotplus in 2017. Did you join Depot, or did you do their check ride and you're a member of the depotplus server? Because if you're a member of the depotplus server, the check ride is no big deal here. And we're looking for people that want to have fun and learn. You know, the Depot is I mean, they're the pinnacle of Run8, right? So Depot has spent so much time and effort in developing maps that everybody uses, the configs that everybody starts off using. They have done the groundwork for the rest of us, all Run8 servers. They're a great place. Their organization is incredible, especially when you get into the database where they track all their train orders through a website. It's incredible. But sometimes you just want to grab a train and run for an hour, you know, without having to record everything that you're doing or whatever. It's fine to do that over there, but sometimes you just want to do it and maybe learn something without having to, you know, break your train and go, oh no, now I'm afraid that because they track this, you know, it's going to be a kind of a pain to report it and all that, which you have to do. You know, we want to know the same kind of information. Hey, this train disappeared. Well, we could put it back sometimes. If we have a save of it, we can. All right, I'm going to bring this thing to a stop. Again, I was just pulling this out of the yard because it's not, it's going actually the other way, but I want to, wait, 611 BO. So this is Boras. So this is actually probably in the wrong spot. I should actually put this out on the inspection tracks. Not the inspection tracks, the departure tracks. They should actually go over here somewhere because they're going out towards Edwards. You know, life always gets in the way, right? And that's okay. You know, they have that thing. So the requirement to stay a member of the Depot Plus is only like you can't have any activity in over 6 months, right? So if you go 6 months without any activity, they actually just remove you and from the plus and reset your stats. So if you do go back in, then can I take this one? Then you have to basically start all over again. So that kind of stinks, but you know, an hour a month isn't that hard to do. So that's how I've stayed active on it. All right, I'm gonna pull this guy forward a little bit, and so we can get this thing started humping again. But yeah, I encourage you, join the Discord, even if you're not ready now. Join the Mateo Discord. And then when you are ready, just post in there, hey, you know, can somebody free for a check ride? I'm available during these hours in this time zone. And it's based on, you know, how much free time we have in our lives as well. So, all right, so blue air or something there. Oh, it's that guy. Okay. So as soon as that connects, okay, we're going to control F6. If I disable the hump controller, we can see now this one, by the way, this is actually, I can't, oh, there we go. So this is the, oh, of course. So this is the bar main sort. And it's, it doesn't stay for some reason. So, so I'm basically going to, I don't know why. Bar main sort. See if it stayed. Nope. Okay, so it keeps changing. Anyways, up controller is enabled. Again, if we look at it, these are the tracks of what's going to be sorted, how it is. So you have certain locals that are going to be sorted. I know people have asked about that. And then we can look at the tracks here, see what numbers they are and what goes where. So when you're going to run a hump operation, we see that track 20 has about half full. And this is the Wink GM cars. That's what I call them anyways. And then we have some LA locals here that goes to my yards. So that's fine because none of these are that. So here we have much of what we just pulled out. So these are the LCal. It's hard to see, but these are the Borax ones that we just moved and CMX that we just moved. So all these are going to fit on there, no problem. So now that we're lined up, check our switches, make sure everything's lined up here. From this all the way down into the hump. Let's start the AI humping again. And then I'm going to move those other cars from where they are now into the departure yard here. So I'm going to take a look. Probably use this. That one already has cars on it. CMX. So we have more CMX cars coming out. And these tracks are longer, these north ones. So I'd like to save those because they're longer. I'm going to put on the fourth. You got, really starts one. Let's look at the map. Let me go to here. I don't have my fancy dancy thing to my Stream Deck here. So, well, these are. There's not if there's not a car on that one. That's north departure, so north would be going that way. I'm sorry, north would be going this way to the right. South would be going this way. It's actually east and west on BNSF, north and south on UP. So I'm not sure why those aren't correct here. So we have a free track here. The one, so we have this one. This one's full. This one's half full. So we can go to 3, 6100. So we'll go to departure 3. Would be this one right here. We look here. We want this one. We can change this one back. Unturn it from blue. Now we're going to be shoving through there. We're coming from that side. So those cars we just moved, I want to send them because they're actually going to Boron. And another thing you can look at, so where does stuff go? We look up here. I never turned the map off, but we looked up here. So this is also available from the depot. It's the off-route map train. It's on their main map page. And this tells you, so wherever you're at, these are going out Slegman sub. These are going out Bakersfield sub. These are UP. They're going out Yuma sub. These are going out the Chima sub. And then this stuff here is coming down out the Alameda corridor. So this tells you any of these tags are going. Now what we found today, what I found today is there's not a lot of intermodal stuff in here. So, you know, it's you have to kind of figure out. There's another thing you can get from if you say BNSF in intermodal locations. Brings you to, you know, there's the yards there, but you can just go here, the facility listings. These are all the maps. There's a map somewhere, but it tells you like all the different ports and stuff too, that you just have to figure out what the letters are. But then also on the depot, we have, you know, all the locals, where they're located, and the tags for each one of the industries.
I don't get it.
A little bit of a fight going on there on the radio. All right, let's get that out of the way. So I'm going to that track, so I got to make sure now that I am lined up all the way through there. Coming back the way I just went. Don't want to go that way, so is this switch I need to throw again? Probably just turned it. These are extra trains if we need DPUs, so when we have a whole set back here, we can just shove them on the back there, which is nice. Okay, so these are all, they're all ready. I just have to follow myself up to here. So everything we just did, we're going to redo. All right, so I got to re-grab this. Since I re-AI'd the train, I don't even know if it, yeah, it is going. I can see the cars coming down. So this is, so now we're sorting and we don't have anything to do with it. It's doing its own thing. And the brakes are stuck on. You can hear the brakes. The retarders are taking care of that though.
1200 UP, Dolores Ranos. Yeah, we got
There's UP on the BNSF tracks in real life right now. You can hear him talking on the radio.
6 more for a total of 7 units. East facing, coming in, got light.
Copy, I'll bring you in bottom end, go 14 up high. Are you guys at Dolores now?
Yeah.
You got the B-roll? I don't see anybody there. How far till you get to the B-roll?
It's gonna be 60 seconds. We're going under
That's a copy. Let me just make sure movers are clear, but I'll bring in 14 higher.
Track 14, here we go.
So I don't know. I didn't catch what they were doing. They're going through San Bernardino or not, because UP will roll through the San Bernardino Yard now. There's a lot different in real life in San Bernardino than there is here in the sim. The sim takes place in the late 90s, early 2000s. And it's based on that time era. So, but there's a whole lot different around West Colton, and I mean West Colton still looks the same. I'm gonna get some drone footage of that here at some point. So we're just bringing everything back here. And so here's the plan. We're gonna take these. Oh, you know what? Are all these empty? Nope. So we got loads to contend with again. So we gotta deal with it. But we'll do the same thing that we did before. There's plenty of... Yeah, we'll do the same thing. So let's go back and take a look what we have. We're going to sort here at this like we did before. However, there's the AI humper. So we're going to put cars into the empties into this one, so we can put the loads into this one. Because we can't use this track for anything else right now. Excuse me, because there's already cars in it. And these are the TMX cars. So we'll use that track temporarily.
1200 Dodge, zeros down, limit over 2.
So by the end of this stream, we would have most likely pulled 2 tracks out, maybe 3, and put them and prepare them for outbound. So again,
San Bernardino. Over.
based on how much this game cost and, you know, the amount of time that you spend just doing anything, I think it's worth it. And then if you want to add a rail driver on top of that for another $200, that gives you, it's like a flight yoke, but it's for train driving. You know, it gives you that ability to feel your way around the controls. I mean, then that's a whole new level right there. You can do everything so much faster and not have to remember what keys do what, because you have levers. There's buttons on the bottom. You have to remember what those do, but there's color, like they're labeled and color coded, but it's hard to see the labels sometimes. I just go by the color codes. But that changes everything. We're going to follow that track right there all the way down and then cut over. So these are green, so these are going to go that track that's somewhat occupied. Wow, I came from like notch 6 to 3 and it stopped almost. We said Otto barked at Amtrak, and it was great, but I didn't see it. I didn't see what they wrote. I haven't ever seen Otto yell at Amtrak. Thought they were buddies. They were drinking buddies. So how do you like this bird's eye view up here? You know, we can sit here and go like a hawk. Fly around. Yeah, probably. I had my drone about this high too. Maybe a little bit higher. Probably like that high. I was flying over everything. It's pretty cool. You know, that is what's nice too is, I mean, I can literally go like this all the way to Los Angeles if I want to. I can follow everything. You can't do that in Dovetail games, not that I'm aware of. But you can spend 20 minutes going forward if you want, and that'll only take you, I mean, I'm going faster than like 70 there. I'm probably doing about 150 miles an hour right now. Maybe 100, my guess. In the train, you can only do like 50, sometimes 70, depending what type of train you have. But when you leave Barstow and you head to San Bernardino, it's roughly 58 miles or something if you were to take the highway, which would be right here. Like the highway is like literally here, going this way. And driving it takes an hour and 10 minutes doing 75, 80. And if you drive a train, it literally takes you like 2.5 hours. Because you're only doing 50 and then slowing down sometimes from the areas and going down the pass. You have to, there's speed restrictions based on weight. So you have to go 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour. So it'll take you 2.5 hours from here to San Bernardino. And then another 2.5, 3 hours to Los Angeles. But you can actually physically drive that. You have all of the maps. You know, this is the San Bernardino sub, so this is all of Los Angeles. You know, I live roughly in this area here. And then you can go to Cajon. And then right here, this goes up to here where West Colton is. So, you know, if you start in the Alameda corridor, you're basically coming out over here, which is this area here. You're coming out through here, coming around, and you're going down each one of these. Who's this? Dakota. So you're coming through here, and then you're going all the way through here, and then coming back up. You're coming through here, and then back up here, up the pass, into Barstow. That's like 5 hours. 6 hours, depending on how fast you can go. And then I have Bakersfield. Here's the base game. This is Mojave sub. And this is the Needles sub, and it goes out to Seligman, which is right here. So going from here to here is about 4 hours. From here, Needles to Seligman will take you like 3.5, 4 hours. Those signals are long in between them. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to stop and I broke a knuckle. See right here, the pink. How many knuckles did I break? Mr. White's going to be proud of me. Okay, we didn't break too many. All I was trying to do was slow down. Why are the brakes on? I didn't have no brakes on. No handbrakes are on. I didn't touch any brakes or anything. All I did was let off the notch. So here we're smoking our train. What do you guys think about that? Have you ever seen that before? Got a hot axle. Well, why are the handbrakes on? I never put them on. All right, let's start fixing our stuff. Yeah, I don't even know why the axles got hot. Because like I said, I didn't have any brakes on. I turned them all off when I was moving. I was pretty sure. Where's my broken knuckles? We got to find those. Probably somewhere down here. We got to go see where the train breaks. There it is. There, fix that. That one's probably, nope, that one's not broke. That one's not broke. So we only broke one? I thought I saw more than one. That one's got to be broke. Nope. All right, well, connect it, see where else I can do excuse me, the brake cheat and do that. Or the brake, you know, pipe and coupler stress indicator, and see if I have another one broken, but I don't see anything. You love putting them on the ground? Where do you carry the extra knuckles? That's a question that probably nobody knows. Hit F7 here just to lace everything up. All right, we got a full train, I believe. Go ahead and go forward. Okay, we just broke another one. I didn't have the right thing up. All right, where's right here? Okay. All right, so I don't believe I did anything that time at all. So what I'm going to do, if this does happen to you, I just was pulling gently. I still have some hot axles. I was pulling gently, and when those broke, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to relinquish my train. Now you could do it by here and then press relinquish, but look how close the delete key is. So I never do it from there. I click on the engine, go up here, relinquish. That is the best way to do it, and then it doesn't. Oh, they're hooks. Oh, okay. So you mean on your power? You don't have any on the cars, right? So I just relinquished. I'm gonna retake it. That way, if there was any funny business going on, then when you're like the hot axles, they're gone now because I relinquished and regrabbed it. Oh, there's the other broken knuckle. So let me come grab this part, do the same thing. That one looks fine. It's this one. So that one broke open, but it didn't break. So you break like 4 knuckles, you're in trouble, right? If you break more knuckles than you have spares, you're kind of in trouble. You gotta wait. Somebody's got to bring knuckles to you. That would be terrible. That was interesting. I don't have any of these aired up. Why is that closed? And none of these are aired up. All right, let's go ahead and pull her forward nice and easy. Handbrake's off. 3, 2, 1, yeah. You can knuckle, you go, I don't know, I just pulled slightly and it started breaking loose on me. You know, maybe the knuckle was old.
Okay, clear 179.
Maybe it had cracks in it nobody saw, you know. Hadn't had inspection in a while. But putting one on the ground, I mean, it's kind of harder to explain unless the rail buckled out underneath you. All right, I'm in notch 3, trying to pull forward. There's a lot of stress there on the couplers. Just going to wait for it here to pull forward.
Stop, all clear. Leads open.
Oh, you know what? Because of PCS. Go on the engine now. Look at that. Okay. Now I'm wondering if my cars don't have air in them or something. I don't. Why? See, why does it have air in it? I don't have my air cheat on. So if we look here, see, there's no air in them. So I'm gonna bleed the cars out. I didn't want air in the cars. Now PCS. Oh, I know why that is. Well, this one could have been closed. All right. So PCS open. Safety, the air valve blew. Go into neutral. Train brake on, or the locomotive brake on, and we went to emergency. For 60 seconds, this light will flash. We can release the brakes. So what does air do to the cars? So a train uses air to push the brake pads onto the wheels. So you have locomotive independent brakes that only control the locomotives, and you have a train brake that there's 90 pounds in the system from the, let me get outside, it's easier to see from out here. So from the tip here all the way to the back of the train, there's a brake pipe that runs all the way through, and each car connects to it via the hoses. So it acts as one system all the way to the back. So when it's fully charged, there's 90 pounds on the brake pipe. If you want to apply train brakes to the cars, then you do what's called a reduction. So you reduce the brake pipe by 10 pounds, for example. So 80 pounds, and that means the brake shoes are actually then touching each wheel. So when you do a brake pipe reduction of 10 pounds, you're reducing the full brake pipe from 90 to 80 pounds. Each car has air bottled up in it. So when you are when you do a 10-pound reduction, each car independently reacts. When it sees the brake pipe drop, it will try to match that. So it starts bleeding air out. And so it will drop each car 10 pounds one by one as the brake pipe changes until it gets to the back. And then when the back one reaches 80 pounds, then if you had an EOT, for example, on the back end of train device, you would be able to read that remotely and say, okay, the last car has 80 pounds on it. In the sim, we can look here and say, oh, okay, so the brake pipe here has 80. Now the brake cylinder has 80. So if you open your angle cock, so that locomotives have 130 PSI in their bottle. That way, if you do a reduction, as soon as you come off, as soon as you release the brakes, it can immediately start charging again without having to pump everything back up from 80. It already has a higher load, so it can distribute that air quicker. So the locomotives are air compressors. They're powered to pull the train, but they're also air compressors. So sometimes you have locomotives on the back, and that way, if you do a 10-pound reduction, the ones in the back remotely start pushing air forward, or start the brake pipe comes forward. This one goes backwards, and they meet in the middle. So you don't have to push air from one side all the way to the rear. You have air coming from each end into the middle. That's not me here. I don't know who this is. Somebody did the splits or whatever. Okay, so now our PCS is flashing. So now I'm gonna release an emergency. When that blew, basically too much air came out, so I dropped all the air out. So the valve kicked off the emergency, so it dumped all the air immediately out. So now we got to technically wait for everything to charge up. And then we'll just go up, we'll notch up so we can help the manual compressor in this type of locomotive pump that air out. Because I don't have the air part of the air brake cheat on. So we're going to pump up. Actually, we don't need to because the cars are bled. I was just thinking about that. So since we're not running, my cars here are bled. I'm not running air. So if the brake pipe doesn't mean anything because there's no air in the cars. There's no air bottled up. So the brake pipe can be 0. As I have this closed, this one's open. So the brake pipe's 0, but there's no air in the cars. So it doesn't matter. The brakes will not apply because there's no air to push the brakes down in each individual car. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but that's, it's not like a semi-truck that uses springs to pull the brakes on. It uses air to lift them off. On trains, it's air going both ways. Air pushing, its own separate air pushing the brakes down, unless you bleed them. And then air controlling the answer of that. So what I got to do here is I got to separate these red ones from these green ones. I brought this whole thing in here and didn't bother doing that. So, and I'm also on the wrong one. Remember I said I want to use this track because it was already in use and I couldn't use a lot of it? Well, I forgot about that and I went too far back when I was chatting with y'all. So, we gotta take these off. It's going to San Diego. All right. So we're going to cut this guy loose. Now we can leave these here because they were supposed to be here. We weren't supposed to connect to these. I want to split up these just like I did those. Okay, so they that just reconnected on me. All right, finally, it's disconnected. All right, as we finish building out this train, we'll push it back more later, but TMX. So as far as we're concerned here, I'm just trying to segregate these cars. You see all these green ones here? I want to leave the greens there. I want to find the red ones. That's all we came down here to do. And there's the red ones right there. So we'll go ahead and start putting handbrakes on so that we can get everything stopped and compressed. All right. So now we can open this, pull more forward. Then we'll put these red ones on this track where we first meant to do that. Yeah, too much air pressure, by the way. If you're above 80, but I think the actual answer is 90, but at 90 I've had problems. So in the sim, I wait till, you see there's a CFM here. So if I'm trying to air this thing up, I can't do it right now because I'm trying to classify these cars, spread them out. But if I were to pump up the train, the CFM goes, all the way up to like 150 and or 130. And when it comes below 80, that's when I open the angle cocks all the way. So I always open the angle cocks halfway or part way. And then once the CFM comes below the 90 pounds, then I'll open that angle cock. And I just are short. Well, that's good, you know. Grain trains are good. I gotta get over back to the Barstow. So, and then I have an issue now, whereas I have a potentially, I mean, it's borax. This is full. Let's see, what do we want in there? I don't even know what that one means, but let's put that on there. So we'll have to put some buffer cars on, because if these are hazardous, you can't have them next to the locomotives, next to the people. So when we get some power on the front of this, we'll have to get some buffer cars. See, here's some grain cars here. Hoppers. I'll push this down a little bit more. I'm not comfortable with where it is. All right. Got it just in time, right before a couple are tightened on me.
Next is top off there. A couple of them out, Maple and Coachella over.
Here in SoCal, I passed the cornfield a little bit a couple hours ago. Castles are on it. It's looking good. I watch a lot of. I play Farm Sim too, but I have not ever streamed it because it just seems like not enough people would watch it, and a lot of. It's kind of like this. There's not as much movement. You're just basically sitting in the thing and auto driving in circles. Crude oil flammable? I think so. Hey, it's what gas comes from. Both diesel and petroleum. All right, so just make sure these are all green. These are all empties. Green means empty, red means full. If you click on it, you can also look. There's nothing in there. But hey, I might have my buffer cars here. Yeah, these are empty. Got 4 buffer cars now. Hello, Mr. George. How you doing? Make sure I got room down here so I don't reconnect. I mean, tank cars, anything that's liquid or you know, gas, the tank cars can carry. Okay, we got plenty of room. I just don't want to recouple those again. Let's see, I need 4, 5. No, 4 is good. Yeah, tank cars carry milk, water, you know, different, I don't know if they carry Coke, because whatever, you know, whatever the ingredients they make it from, like they could carry syrup, I guess. But I think they're bottled at the factory. Coke wouldn't be transported in a tanker to another facility to bottle. That just doesn't make a lot of sense financially. Ethanol, you know, things like that. All right, so yeah, I need to slack this. So I want to use these as buffer cars. So that means I've got to get them off of here. You poop your pants a little bit. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab... I'm going to kick these off here because I'm from the other direction. Let me go F3. First of all, let's throw that switch. Oh, we want that. All right, so let's turn all these. So now we're just going to get rid of these here. You have a little spillage in the booty region. So temporarily, I'm going to use. Hold on a minute. We can't do that. Buffer cars are empty. I need full buffer cars. Or some cars that are... I need the weight in front. So these are not loaded, so we're not going to put those there. I just realized that. Oh, like NS discovered? You could use anything that's not perishable. You don't want to contaminate food. Okay, so if I continue there, I'm going to split. See how I stopped that just in time? I didn't come back far enough on that switch. But yeah, I'll get some cover. Well, so this is going to boron, right? So it really depends on what this customer has that we can use as buffer cars too. I mean, we can use other tankers that are non-hazardous just to prevent anything from happening to the crew. You know, that's why they want to make sure that that's what buffer cars are for. Not for any reason. It's not that technically the locomotives are going to set them on fire. I guess it could happen, but it's safety third. You know, got to worry about the people in there. They want to get sued. Breathing in some nasty air. The air conditioners, these things put out some, you know, refined hospital quality clean air inside the cab, right? You could probably assume that. They're probably fragile, French for fragile. Got a couple of handbrakes on here. And again, why did I just do that? Probably because I'm talking to you guys. I'm not thinking hospital clean air. Yep. I need to put this cut on that red cut there. I don't know why I backed up. We got to take this cut and put it on this one. And then when we get the power for it, that's when we'll make sure it has some sort of buffer. I hit that a little hot. This switch we want to pass, and then we'll cut it over, and that'll be it. We'll get this one Well, you can open the windows. The pee then goes right past your nose. Yeah, you can switch them, you just can't hump them. Else, that's the only way you can combine them. But if you're switching them, you know, yes, you would be a little more careful with them. Again, Mr. White would know more about that. Oh, I did a countdown timer. Okay. I was like, did I grab that other cut by accident? Gotta keep an eye on these cars as they go by. Trash train, nasty. Mega stinker, huh? Seems like it would be. Nope. Okay, we just have the cars we need. 400 feet to go. You didn't miss anything. We are moving metal around here, Kurt. We're just in Barstow running the classification yard. We've got basically 2 cuts pulled out of here, and we're humping everything else at the same time. That's all. Just, you know, we're at 2 hours. 2 hours on a stream. Almost derailed 37 times, broke some knuckles. All the stuff NM likes to see. Okay, so we'll do that then. Dynamics on, let's come on back. So now we're going to connect these to the tankers and shove them all back in this lane, and probably won't get to it tonight, but we'll set this as a build probably tomorrow. We'll get some more out of the... I think there's some somewhere around here, I don't know. But we'll prepare a train. This will go towards Edwards to the borax side, I believe. There's too many landfills here in SoCal. Yeah, all the above. We've had a few issues here tonight, as usual, but that's okay. Started a countdown timer a little late, but that's fine. But the length of my train total is 3186. We're looking at get to that. 2371 tons, 7 loads, 46 empties. This train is not ready to leave Barstow yet. Anyways, it wouldn't be efficient to run 3,100 feet train out. I mean, it's a local though, so maybe it can go out. So I think we can add more to it so that we can get our money's worth and do a couple drops off on the way to its final destination. So we drop borax, send it down the line more cars for like Edwards and other things, and that'd make more sense. Yeah, I haven't. That's the only one I don't have yet because it just came out, and I'm not an East Coast guy personally. I will get it because I would much rather have a connection to it rather than, because like Roseville's great as well, but it doesn't have any connections. So you can't have anything brought in. You just have to. It's like a little claustrophobic, if you will, coming from a guy who was on a submarine, by the way. I got a subscription from Dark something. If that was you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy. I have lots of content on my channel. All for free. I'm going to send this all down as far as I can. And I think our train is done here in the hump yard. And look, the receiving yard's clear, except for the intermodal that's over here. So I will more than likely get that out of here and prepare that one. Oh no, that one just came in. That's bar shuttle. So yeah, that one's being processed. So the one that was here is gone. Hound may have taken that one. And we do only have a couple trains ready. Bar LMC's on hold because I don't have room for it yet. Oh, out of Holy Lock? Yeah, I was on the West Coast. So I was out of San Diego initially and then moved to Pearl. My boat had just got decommissioned. I was a sonarman on submarines. Tell your brother that, what's up, electricity machine? You can tell your brother, by the way, Kurt, that the guy who watches train streams, he's a bubblehead as well, a qualified bubblehead. Most like Navy guys are known as like sailors or squids or whatever, but submariners are called bubbleheads. I was on the Chicago, and the Chicago was laid in '86. I was on the Chicago in the mid '90s. I also was on the Los Angeles for a couple months helping them out. That one's also decommissioned. So I was on the LA class submarines, and the newer ones are, so they were building the Seawolf when I was in submarine school. They made 3 Seawolf class, and then they started making the Virginia class. I've never seen a Virginia class submarine. I've never been on one. I've seen plenty of pictures of how they're set up. I don't really care much for it. But I've been on 637s. I've been around a 594, but never inside. 637s and 688s. And I've never been on a Trident either. But some of my close friends have. He has his wings with the gear. So he's a machinist mate, huh? He's a nuke MM. The guys behind crew's mess, the ones that work aft in the engine room, they're called nukes because they're nuclear trained. And everybody forward of the watertight door are called coners because we're up towards the nose of the submarine. You got nukes and coners, and being a sonarman, I was a coner. I was part of the weapons department. I swear I opened that already, the coupler. Alright, so that one's ready to be continue loaded up. What's up, Resemble? He has egg salad on his cover. Okay. Are you saying he's an officer? He's a commander? He's a commanding officer of submarine force, or retired as a commander? Gotcha. So he was a commodore then. Oh no, a commander. Commander would be. So you know, like for the skipper, you don't really call them by their rank. They're the skipper, the captain. Even though their rank isn't captain, that's commander. The XO is a lieutenant commander. You better be good at math. They asked me if I wanted to when I tested out. You know, you want, because they give you bonuses and stuff. You want to be a nuke, and I'm like, no, I'm bad at math. I'm not going to do good in the school, because the school's really hard. They do a lot of math in there, because I mean you're dealing with physics. BNSF GEVOs are part of the base part of the game. If you go to the depot server, by the way, the depotserver.com, under their reference here, I can show you guys. Let me show you this real quick. So here I'm in the depot server, but I was just looking at like the reference page. But if you go to under reference as well, and you go to rolling stock database, you could select what it is you're looking for and see what pack it is. So there's no GEVO motors here at all because it's base game, which is weird because I thought there's 70s, and then you would buy the pack depending on what railroad you wanted. But as far as like these are part of the base game. So because there's no pack here. That's the 70s, but all the GEVOs are part of the normal one. See, you have this is free. So this UP2 is free. You can download it for free. Oh no, it says purchase. Holidays, okay. Then you have the heritage ones. But as far as UP, Run 81, Run 81, Run 8, I'm sorry, the CSX and BNSF, those are all base game. As far as all the GEVOs, I have not. Base game, base game, base game, base game. See, I haven't seen any yet. You can't buy any because they're all free. So that's here under the depotserver.com under the reference, and you just go to your where are we at? Rolling stock database. So we don't have a whole lot of stuff. I've been working Barstow the last couple of days because Sniper doesn't, he had to step down, didn't have the time. So there's an auto rack here that's going down to San Bernardino. So that's jobs there. Then you have, this one's going to Kings Park. You can take that one as far as you can go. If you don't have, the Bakersfield sub, you can take it to Bakersfield and put in a siding there. We have a Fresno train here that's ready to go out. And this one is still being worked on. This LMC, there's no room yet for the yard. So that's all we have. You can take over any AI train that's running on the road, and also on the Mateo server. So if you look at like this one, this UP one, you can grab that one. That's going down towards Los Angeles. You can look at any AI train and take it over if you want. This is from LAC to Memphis. If you want base game, There's lots of trains here to choose from. FRS to Chicago. You got UP here going to EP, wherever that is. I don't really know UP that well. I haven't worked them in a long time. You got Carl Oxy is running this one now, going to Kings Park. Actually, I think the Kings Park one is on hold too. But this is out of Needles. This is going to LAC, so down to Los Angeles, so you can run it down. So you can take over any of these. Yeah, one of the 70s probably does have a white roof. I said, look at that stuff on the depot if you're interested. I'm at 2 hours, 10 minutes now. So, yeah, if you want to come in and help, no problem. UP gets no love. Tris was working right now down in West Colton. So you guys can come in and work as you need to. Feel like free. With Barstow, where you can't do anything you want because it's the main distribution yard for all of SoCal. So there has to be jobs posted here, as well as anything that goes out of here has to have a home. So you're trying to take it on the road, it's got to have a place that it can go to. So, but we have a lot of work throughout the server. We're just trying to get caught up here because we haven't had a full-time yard master here for a bit. So that's why I did this stream here from here today. But yeah, you can take over an AI train. When you're done with AI in it, or when you're done taking it, just AI it back. The trains that are on hold is because they don't have a place they can go to. They won't fit where they need to go or whatever. There's reasons. So if there's no job posted for any of these trains, you can't take them because there's a reason they're not released to go out to where they need to go to. Like this, I think even this one can't go because there's no room in the yard. The yard has to be worked to make room so that this supply train can come in. Same with this one. LMC, I'm going to look after the stream here. It might be ready to receive this train. So this one's going down to La Mirada. But when I started the stream, La Mirada was still full of cars, but I think Dakota worked it. And then when you're done, always turn off your engines, please. Actually, they have fuel in them. If you leave them running, the fuel runs down. Then you got to take them over and get them filled back up. It's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. So just turn them off. I live in BNSF territory here, and it's time for me to go. Yeah, you don't want to send anything. But AI trains, if you don't know if there's nothing that you can see it do, grab an AI train, run it till you don't want to run anymore, and just re-AI those when you're done. There is absolutely no problem with that. Arlington, that's here in Riverside. Okay, guys, I've got other things I got to get going to do, so I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll be back on Twitch on Thursday night. That's going to be raise your fist in the air. Raise your fist in the air. That's going to be my Super Mega Baseball game. I'm in the World Series, the best of 5. I'm 2 up in that. So I might win that one on Thursday or Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/KungfuBeer. And for those of you that really enjoy the Run 8 stuff, I'll be back next Sunday. Guys, I'll do some golf with you in here a little bit if you want. I hope all my switches are closed. The only one that's not is this one up here, which is not a problem because it's not mainline. But everything else, this is closed. So you guys have a great one. And then next Sunday, we'll be back for some more Simulator Sunday. So we'll see you then. You guys have a great week.